I saw this comment and I couldn't help but reflect deeply. And that's even one of the reasons why, after dropping the comments, I still choose to make this video. And after thinking deeply about it, I again, it's not something new to me, but then I realized that actually it is due to the conditioning we've received as women. The conditioning is so deeply ingrained into our subconscious that it flows automatically without you even thinking. And because your subconscious is 95% responsible for your actions, you will see yourself when you're brushing your teeth, your mind may be off, but you are still brushing. That's because subconsciously you have trained your mind to know that this is what you should be doing. The same thing with this kind of conditioning. You have been conditioned to think that you are a rehabilitation center for a man, to think that you are helpless without a man, to think that you must act helpless when the man is there. You will see a person who is an high flying woman in wherever she's working. Upon getting home, I'm not saying she will not be, she should be disrespectful. Of course, she should not be, but she is like as if her brain just stops thinking and she can't even critically think or question things. And it's like the woman at home is a there's a serious disparity between the woman at home and the woman in the office. Now, don't get me mixed up. What I'm saying in essence is this: you can be a boss at home, I mean at work, be the lead, execute things and do things as you ought to, and still retain your logical senses even at home. You are not, even at work, you should not be bossing people around. You should treat people respectfully and kindly. In a nutshell, while you are giving an instruction to your subordinates or workers and all that, you are still treating them as human, respecting them and being kind to them. Can you see? Now, when you get home, somehow it's like your brain just ceases working. You stop thinking. You will see a woman who is a CEO afraid of her husband. I know of few examples. These women out there, they are a force to reckon with. They are people that you cannot just talk to anyhow. And it is not even out of fear. It is because of the way they have built their lives. Upon getting home, they are like a cat that has been abused for so long and cannot even make the sound again. And if you look at it closely, it is because of the conditioning. That's why you will hear a woman say, I'm a boss outside. Once I get to the door of my house, I throw away that thing and put on my submission cloak because I have to be submissive to my husband and blah, blah, blah. See, many times when people are saying this kind of statement, it is not because they are being a good wife. In a nutshell, they are saying they are being subservient, choosing to be subjugated by their husband because he is a husband, and because they have been conditioned to think that it is okay for a man to control, to rule, and do everything that has to do with control over your life. And now they are very quick to quote the Bible and say that you should be submissive to your husband. But with my knowledge of what the Bible says about a helpmate, you are not a subordinate to your husband. You are equal with your husband. You respect each other. You love each other. That is even according to Genesis. If you go to even the New Testament, it is stated that you both have access to grace. In a nutshell, you are joint heirs with Christ. You are not lower joint heirs. You are not middle or somehow underneath your husband because he's your husband. It is, you are both on the same level of grace. Nobody has a greater grace than you, except you choose not to use the grace given to you. You have the same access, the same rights, the same everything. Now, I understand that they have also make it look like in marriage your husband is like, what's the word? I don't want to use the word head because some people, if I use the word head, it will jump over so many people's head. And because somehow, because of the conditioning again, once you hear the word head, you have normalized it in some context. So now, there's a way you just view your husband like he's your Lord and Master. Don't tell me you don't do it. Most of you do it because you want to make some important decisions about your life. You are having to wait to take permission from your husband. Some of you don't necessarily see it as permission. In fact, some of you disguise it as, we are now one, we have to run things by each other. That's how you say it. But in the real sense, what you are doing is, I don't want him to be angry that I'm taking this decision. Why should your husband be angry that you need to improve your life? And you normalize all of these things because of this conditioning that has made you subservient. You see, in some situation, let's be factual and honest with ourselves. While I know that it is in many men to want to control and subjugate a woman, there are some men that they just want their friends as their wife. They are not seeing you as lower than them. Now, some wives get married to some of these kind of men, but by themselves, they now retrain the man to start treating them like their subordinates, like some house help, like some persons they can, use and dump at their will. They by themselves, due to their over submissiveness, due to their own the fact that they don't even value themselves, they begin to see themselves less. Actually, they've been seeing themselves less before marriage came. That is why they need marriage to validate them. And when the marriage comes, you see, one of the ways you know that a person has been looking forward to making marriage to validate them is the way they start acting after marriage, the things they start saying after the wedding, their actions after the wedding will confirm to you that this person has been waiting for the longest time to get this marriage thing sorted, to validate them, to make them feel good. They have not been feeling good about themselves. That is a person that still needs to work on themselves. So now, going by this comment, after you have allowed your life to be used as an experiment for a man, you now grow bitter, and then you start saying all sort of nasty things, and then you start categorizing everybody together. And this thing is actually two ways, also in the men's side, but their own is just in a different way and method, not particularly about relationship, even though yes, in relationship as well. It is time for you to rise up and take responsibility. See, if your parent failed, your church failed, or your religious settings failed you by conditioning you into seeing yourself as a lesser citizen, as a lesser human being, as a subordinate, as a lower class, whatever second level, whatever level you have put yourself, it is time for you to start working on your mind and start viewing yourself the right way. And I would say this, to be honest with you, it's not something you can even see by yourself until someone calls it to your consciousness. You are likely watching this video and you're like, nah, it's not me. It can never be me. In fact, most likely it is you, because your cell of recognition have not seen that that issue is there. And until in situations like it's happening, and then you remember that, oh, I saw a video that said this, and until this thing is called to your consciousness, you won't even know it is present. And that is why you need to work on yourself. I love that people go for all these seminars on how to build business and all that, but I think you should invest more on seminars that help you to think about your life, that helps you to question your beliefs, that helps you to question your conviction, that one that was passed down to you by your mommy and your pastor. Go for events like that that helps you to question these things, not because you want to necessarily throw them away, but to sieve your parents' ideology, their conviction away from the real truth, and then you hold on to the real truth, because your parents have also mixed the truth with their experiences and knowledge, which may not be the truth. I have a group. You can be part of that group. Check the link in my bio and join that group. It's starting officially on the 1st of February, and that is one of the places you should be to start reconditioning your mind into being the kind of woman you want to be, that 5 years from now, you look back and you are glad that you made a decision to reconfigure your mind. I believe this helps you. Anyway, not like I hope. I believe it helps you. And I'm also praying and hoping that it begins to unsettle you to take action in the right direction. All right. Bye.